Right. We should be live here. Hello, I'm Modeler Man Mike. Welcome to the show. Ben will probably go through some of these slides here. I'm going to pop you up here. I hope everybody's made it in. We've got quite a few viewers here. I hope everybody can see us. If you pop something into the questions here just to let us know that we're on air, I'd sure appreciate it. Right now, I'd like to just talk about if we disconnect, I'm going to place another link up onto the website that is going to give you a place to be able to reconnect. We may have to restart if we disconnect. So just so you know, right here on the screen, you can see the website. Take a look at that. Maybe keep it bookmarked there in case we disconnect. You can get back to the live show. All of this will have to reconnect. So it'll just be a take two kind of an event there. And if you're not familiar with this show, YouTube Model Builders Live is a monthly show that I'm hosting for the next 3 months, in hopes that we have some more people that might pick this up and do it for the next quarter or something. But it's my thought to do it for the next 3 months as a host. And maybe I can train the next person to host this for the following 3 months. So, and the next show is going to be July 2nd, 11 p.m. It'll be basically the same format, and I hope to catch you guys here. The big thing here on this, you can find all the information on this show on this website, and you can see that on the splash screen here. And tonight's show, we're going to have a few topics, or a couple of topics that we're going to focus on. Our main topic is modeling for YouTube and best starter structure kits to build. Ultimately, the show is about communicating and interacting with our subscribers to our YouTube channels. And ultimately, what we want to get to is the questions and answers. Where our topics are important, they're not as important as the interaction with our subscribers. So if we do stray from those topics, don't be upset about that, because the primary focus of the show is really to interact with our subscribers. And again, if we drop, be patient. We'll get back up and have a new link on the website. So please bookmark that and have that available if you need to. On this show, we've got a couple of giveaways. We've got a couple of changes that came up here last minute. Let me just kind of quickly run through this. We have 2 giveaways that are being provided by a couple of different people. The first one it was actually changed, and you can see this on the submit form, is on the website. There are no structures. What's been changed is Midwest Model Railroad has changed their gifts from structures to $25 gift cards, a total of 2 gift cards. So what we'll have to do is try and determine how to figure this out. So as long as you're entered and you see that you're entered for either an HO scale structure or an N scale structure and a Bragdon Enterprises weathering kit, then you're good to go. And we'll work out the details on how to get the $25 gift cards and Bragdon Enterprises gifts to you. The first, there we go. Yeah, you know what? That's fine if you want to do that, Ben. You kind of have it. There we go. One of the things that you guys have seen in my videos is this Bragdon Enterprises weathering kit, and Joel over at Bragdon Enterprises was kind enough to send a few of these for the next 3 shows, and we're going to give this away. We're going to give a password later in the show that'll get you to that giveaway form, and you'll enter in this passcode on the form so that we can make sure that you're watching when we give these items away. So Bragdon Enterprises, definitely. Weathering kit, pretty excited about that. And Midwest Model Railroad is going to have the 2 $25 gift cards. So we'll give the passcode away later. You guys don't let me forget about giving this passcode out, because I may just forget about that. So anyway, find your way over to the website. Find your way over and find that form that you're going to fill out for these giveaways if you're interested in registering for them, and we'll make sure that we get that taken care of later in the show. Excuse me. All right. There you go. Perfect. Now, do we have any others there that I haven't covered? Did I cover all of them? Okay. Yeah, the railroaders.
You'll get the social media.
Yeah, there you go. Just real quick, I wanted to kind of touch on this. We've got 3 sites that are put into 3 different social media sites here, and just want to make sure that you guys are aware where these things are at and what they're about. The first one is the Facebook page. We have a Twitter page and a Google Plus page. If you have a YouTube channel, please find your way over to the Google Plus page. If you have a Facebook page, find your way over to Facebook. And Twitter is like really much more just an information source. So, but if you're on the web, find your way to either any one of these to get involved with the community efforts that we're all pushing on the model railroad community. I'd sure appreciate it, and I'm sure a lot of these other guys would as well. So, really a lot of fun. We've been having a blast with these for the last couple of months, and they're absolutely a asset to everything that we're doing right now because it gives us the communications ability to be able to put things like this together. So, Derek has taken the lead on the Facebook page. I've taken the lead on the Google page, and definitely want to try and get you guys involved in that. And if I find out you're not hooked up on my Google page, I'm going to come get you. So make sure that happens. All right. Okay. Yeah. Now I'm going to go through, and I hope you guys are ready. I'm going to go through the line here, and what I plan to do is just go down the line here. What we have is called an info blast, and what this is just a way for everybody to go down and talk about their channel. And each one of the individuals you see on the channel here all have a YouTube channel, and I hope that while they're speaking that you'll make your way over and subscribe, because they've taken the time to come in here and talk to you guys and participate in these events. So I'll put somebody up on the screen here, and then they'll have the opportunity to talk about their YouTube channel and try and get you over to subscribe. So I'm going to start off here with, oh boy, I bet all you guys are biting your nails. Anybody want to put their hand up? Put your hand up if you want to go. Okay, I'm going to start with Ben.
All right. All right, so let me get a screen share open here. Should I close it? All righty. So my name is Ben, like you said. I'm 23, so I'm the youngin' of the group, and they give me a hard time about it all the time because I have a baby face, evidently. But anyway, my name is Ben, and I'm NSTrainFan on YouTube. You can find me at www.youtube.com/NSTrainFan. As you will see, I have a channel trailer, so if you've never checked out my channel, this will tell you everything you need to know about my channel. I recently just reached 3,000 subscribers, thanks to you guys, so I do appreciate all the subscribers and the people that watch my channel. Also, you can find me on Twitter. It's @BennertPhoto, where I post photos and everything I'm doing behind the scenes between work. I'm a professional photojournalist for a newspaper in North Carolina, or you know, just behind the scenes with the train stuff. Also, you can fan me on my Facebook page. It's www.facebook.com/NSTrainFan, as well as on Instagram, and that's @BennertPhoto. Twitter is @BennertPhoto as well. So I hope to see you guys, and please subscribe to my channel and check out all these other awesome YouTubers that are doing this with me. Later, guys. Next.
All right, thanks, Ben. We'll go to Vinny.
All right. Hey, guys, my name is Vinny. I live in Phoenix, Arizona, and I model N-scale, and I'm currently modeling the BNSF P-Vine sub. I've been modeling N-scale for 25 years, and this is the first prototype I've ever done. Also on my channel, you'll see scratch builds and some run and op sessions. Hope to see you guys on my channel. It's a lot of fun to watch. Watch my scratch builds and also watch my op sessions and watch all the bloopers that I leave in. Anyhow, hope to see you there. And if it's okay with Mike, I'd like to give a couple of shout-outs to a couple of my YouTubers.
You bet.
All right. First one is Pack Belt Railroad. He models N-scale and HO, and he is currently working on a Keep Alive for N-scale, and it seems to be working pretty good. And the second person I'd like to give a shout-out to is ArrowB58. He is an HO modeler, and he does a lot of run and switching operation videos. Hope to see you on my channel, BNSF6951. Back to you, Mike.
All right, thanks. Go to Brian. Oh, that would be, yeah. There you go.
Okay, me? You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Are you ready?
My name is Brian. My YouTube channel is Brian102256, and I kind of do seat of the pants modeling, I guess. I don't model any particular prototype. I kind of like to run what I like, and I kind of lean towards Burlington Northern before the Santa Fe and Rio Grande, only because I like the paint schemes. My channel started out, I guess, around 4 years ago. I started out with a layout in my garage that was not portable but movable, and I didn't have a lot of room. I didn't have a lot of money at the time, so the initial emphasis of my channel was model railroading on a budget. And I suppose I had, I don't know, maybe 30 videos about that. In the course of that series of videos, we moved to another house, and I decided to go out of the garage and into the house. It was really hot in the summer, really cold in the winter, so not really pleasant for modeling. So I built a layout room in a corner of my family room, up above the garage. So the first part of this most recent series was devoted to constructing the layout room. There was a lot of non-model railroading videos that I had put up there, but I thought maybe some folks would be interested in that whole construction process. So what I've done now, I've just finished laying track on the first loop. I actually ran a train the other night the whole way around, and it did not derail. So I was happy about that.
That's right. I did see that. I did see that.
Yeah, and that was, one thing I did was, I appreciate all the applause there. But all these guys that you see across the bottom of your screen, I subscribe to them for years, and it's just a real pleasure for me to be part of this group and to be able to help you guys, out there in YouTube land. I just hit 750 subscribers today, and I kind of tend to think of them as clients more than subscribers, because I'm here to help. So I guess that's all I have to say. Mike, back to you.
All right, thank you. Next, just so you guys know, real quick, we have the Q&A section. If you'll start entering in some questions here, you can see down in the corner. Well, if I can figure out how Eric does this finger thing on the screen. Down here somewhere on the video, you'll find a link that'll put you toward an open screen that'll allow you to enter in questions. And if you'd like to start asking questions, we'll get to that here in a few minutes. But I'm going to go to Derek for his info blast.
All right, guys. Derek here, DGlass77 on YouTube. My channel features mostly videos of my modern day HO scale layout and some rail fanning videos. Like most people, I had an HO layout as a kid, and about 2.5 years ago I decided to get back into it. My layout is basically a freelance layout. I don't model any specific location or railroad, but I always say model what you know. So since I live in northeastern part of the United States, you will see probably a majority of Norfolk Southern stuff on my layout. It's a twice around single main line, and will include roughly 6 industries. It's in its early stages right now, so please subscribe and follow along as I build it. And just keep in mind, I'm no professional, so maybe we can share techniques with each other. I'm learning a lot as I go, and I want to finish by saying it's an honor to be sitting in here with all these great modelers. Thanks again, and back to you, Mike.
All right, thank you, sir. Just so you guys know out there in the audience, we actually there's some connection problems here, like I discussed earlier, and you may see people like Brian, who just dropped out a minute ago. He may be trying to get back in now, but all these guys, if they drop, they'll come back in. If I drop, we have to restart, so let's just hope that doesn't happen. Next, I'm going to go to Greg for his info blast.
Right, thanks, Mike. Yeah, Greg here from Fishbait Films, everyone. And as you can tell by my accent, I'm Scottish, and I'm a little bit south from Scotland. But anyway, I've been model railroading since I was about 12, so about 10 or 15 years. And no, okay. And I started out back in the DC days, of course, and was out of the game for probably about 15 years, and then got back in just as DCC was coming in, so that was interesting learning curve. If you haven't been to Fishbait Films, you'll see trains from down under, obviously. We have standard gauge, narrow gauge, 3'6", and 2-foot cane trains, which are up in the tropical section in Queensland where I live. But mainly my channel's about the BNSF Birdwood subdivision, and which is my HO scale layout, loosely based on Cajon Pass to Hatchby Loop, little bit of mountain areas thrown in there. So if you watch the video blogs on that, you'll see it from the very first piece of wood screwed together on a bench straight up to where we are today. So yeah, I'd just like to say thanks for being along and around, surrounded by all these wonderful modelers who actually can do scenery, and that's one thing you won't see me doing yet. But anyway, it's great to be here, and I have to learn scenery from all these other guys, you know, but hopefully we'll get there. So if you drop in and say good day on the channel, and it's great to be here, and yeah, that's it. Thanks very much, Mike.
Yeah, I was just going to say you do have scenery. It's plywood. Don't sell yourself short.
No, I've got one bridge. I've got one bridge. One bridge.
Okay.
Hey, it can qualify as desert scenery though, because it's just sand colored and flat.
This is true. This is true. All right, now Gino was brought in here at the last minute to cover for Stephen Atwell for Midwest Model Railroad, who couldn't make it tonight. And let me just, Gino, are you okay with doing an info blast? Do you want to talk about your channel any, or am I putting you on the spot?
Yeah, I'm good with it.
You're muted? Oh, there you go. Okay. Okay, yeah. There you go. You got the floor.
Can you hear me now?
I got you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Gino from Lincoln, Alabama. My YouTube channel is Gino's Model Trains. I focus mostly on scratch building. It's kind of aimed toward the new beginner model. I'm also in the process of building a new layout based on the Louisville-Nashville Railroad in Alabama, set back in the late 60s and early 70s. It's a pleasure being here with y'all. Great company, great model railroaders, and I'm looking forward to working with everybody.
Yeah, we're glad to have you, Gino. Thanks so much for making it in tonight.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm gonna go to Colorado's Joint Line. The name of your channel is not Colorado Joint Line. It's something else, way much longer. So, if you want to share that, but you're up. Here you go.
Yeah, great. Hey, this is Kevin. The long name of my channel is HO Scale Model Trains and Colorado's Joint Line Layout. It ended up with kind of a long name. It started out just being a channel for me to share my layout construction with guys that I knew and everything, and so they could see the operation sessions I was doing and stuff. And then as I started doing more videos on reviews of locomotives and things and little how-to projects and stuff, the name of the channel sort of morphed some. So it's a little long, but you can find it under Colorado Joint Line is sort of the easy way to find it on YouTube. So the the layout itself, I do several different videos, mostly on operation sessions of the layout or construction of my layout. In that, the layout is a HO scale layout that is of having problems with my little screen here.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys are seeing me.
Do what you got to do there.
The HO scale layout that ends up operating between Denver and Colorado Springs. Actually, my layout goes Denver to Palmer Lake, and it replicates the 1990s operation of the Colorado Joint Line, which was jointly operated between Santa Fe and Rio Grande. So, and then I also have like various how-to projects.
I don't mean to interrupt, Kevin, but I'm getting a blank screen from you right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting too.
I'd sure like to see the information you're trying to share if you want to share that, but
the right this way.
There you go. I got something
so now
now.
we got something. So again, here's sort of the main name of the page, and then my layout itself. Like I said, it's not overly complex, but it ends up having a lot of operations in it. In that the run between Denver and Palmer Lake, you have a nice helper district in there, and so you get lots of mainline trains and lots of helpers. Some industrial switching in the Denver area. And then, like I was mentioning, I do a bunch of other videos are on the website as well. Anything from speed matching, DCC engines, installing decoders and lights and stuff, to actually doing seeing and things, as well as some prototype videos, mostly the joint line, but also some KCS and Montana Rail Link and stuff. Coming up in the future, I've got a few things planned, videos on how to start off with the operations or sort of the basics of operating your layout, and then some things on how to make realistic trees, water, roads, more in decoder installations and things like that. So head on over and check out HO scale model trains. Over to you, Mike.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thanks for that, Kevin. And if you guys, all these guys have excellent model railroad YouTube videos, and Kevin here was one that I ran across. I don't know. I've been subscribed to him for quite a long time, but I was pretty impressed with a couple of his videos that he put up recently, and fortunate enough to be able to drag him in here so we can abuse him. Next year I'm going to go to Eric from IMRRO.com. I don't hear you, Eric.
I turned the mic off, not on. My bad.
No worries.
I was really quiet. My name's Eric Hall. I do imrro.com, or it's a big yellow, black, and blue, whatever color that splash screen thing is I have. I forgot. But I model basically N-scale. If you go to my channel, you know what I do. I just kind of do what I feel like doing, and that's about it. I'm basically what happens if you give somebody that works nights a video camera that has nothing better to do at nighttime. So that's what you got. Not much else to say, so I'm just going to shoot it right back to Mike so we can get into questions, is what I'm looking forward to.
All right. Thanks, Eric. And last on the list here, unless I've skipped anybody, you'll let me know, is Southern 8099.
Yeah, save the best for last.
Yeah. Cream on the topping.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. Hi, everybody. Steve here. I'm talking to you from the great state of Tennessee, the original home of Southern Railways, which originated with the Cincinnati Chattanooga Railway System, soon to become the Southern, and to my knowledge is now operated by Norfolk Southern's Southern Division, and it's also known as the Rat Hole Line because of all the tunnels and the crevices it has to go through to get here. Glad to have this opportunity to be here with you this evening. For those of you who do not know me, I operate on YouTube as Southern 8099. I've been in and out of this business, or hobby, if you want to call it that, for about 40 years. It should be a business for the cost you've got. And I've seen many changes in the prices. I can remember years and years ago, I could take $50 and build a good 4x8 layout. Today, that'd get you about two good sheets of plywood. So, I just recently got back into model railroading over the last year after having spent about 40 years in the trucking industry, and so how's that for a switch? A trucker going over the railroad. That's treasonous down here in the South. My channel, Southern 8099, focuses primarily on HO scale modeling and railroading, though you may on occasion see some N-scale material, as I have two layouts, and I am in the process of, building both of them, with the HO scale building being the bigger of the two in area-wise. You might also see a little football up there from time to time, because I coach football in here at the local high school. I handle the running backs and the linebackers. And aside from the operation of these two layouts, you will be able to watch along as I build kits for both layouts. I presently have one build that's in the process of being edited. Hope to have it up next week. It's the Walther's Cornerstone Walton and Sons Lumber Yard in HO scale. And if you do N scale, you might want to go check out Midwest Modelers Railroad, because he has an N scale version of that build going up. My plans in the future will include additional builds and layout construction, which includes 3 additional builds coming up in HO scale, but not in any particular order. Be building the ADM concrete grain plant, the Walters Central Gas and Supply, Walters Centennial Mills background building, or low relief as they're called. These builds will be all for my layout, as the layout was designed primarily with these kits in mind, so I do not have any particular order in which they will be built, so stay tuned. I presently have a video almost ready to go up showing the installation of the Digitrack UP electronics panel that works in conjunction with the small throttle control, and it's very elementary, but if you're a newbie to the hobby, it might help you take some of the fear out of doing installs like this. So there you have it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And running a little bit over, so I won't do my screen shares and stuff here on mine, but just if you're not familiar with my channel, I do structure building for model railroading, and how I do building, model lighting with a light kit, and you'll also find tips and unboxing and other things. So check out my channel if you haven't already.
Yeah, and everybody, Mike's being a little modest there. He's a model builder extraordinaire. If you haven't checked out his some of his builds on his YouTube video, you really should. They're fantastic.
Thank you for that. All right, and let me go back to these the Q&A stuff here, just to explain this real quick, and maybe I'll let Eric do the little finger thing on the screen. But there's a link here down here somewhere that says interact or ask questions or something, that puts you onto another web page that allows you to enter in questions, and we're wanting you to start stacking these questions up, and we'll get to these here in just in a couple of minutes. You're going to see some lag in some of this video. It's okay. It's just kind of the way it works right now. Okay. On the Q&A, if you like, you're able to pose it to the panel, which is everybody you see in what they call the film strip here, which all of these great modelers that have joined us here, and or you can enter in a question very specific for an individual if you like. If you just put in the name of the person you want to direct your question to, you're welcome to do that as well. I have a script here. Look, I'm turning as red as Steve does. I have to kind of toss these out as I get them all mixed up here. Okay, cool. All right. Well, we have 2 topics for this show, and I'm just going to open it to the floor for the topics, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start picking through some of these questions, and we'll get to these. The topics were... Ben, do you have a splash page for topics? Oh, I don't think both of them were listed there.
Yeah, hold on. Give me a minute here. I have to get the thing running. Start screen share.
I don't mean to put you on the spot.
No, you're fine. There you go.
Oh, there we go. Okay, this is our main topic, and for all you guys on the show tonight who are participating, I'm just going to open the floor here for you guys to start talking about some of this. And really what this is if you've been on any of the social media sites that we've all been involved in here as of late, there's a lot of discussion about different YouTube modelers and how they're presenting their stuff for their channels. So you guys are, just feel free to talk about, like, I have video on my YouTube channel that kind of explains the equipment I use and things that I do to get videos up. And then also the second topic, we'll just roll through this. We'll get to questions and maybe go primarily on questions. So we're just going to kind of play this by ear and see how it goes. If we get enough questions, we might just fill the rest of the show with that. So anybody have any comments on modeling for YouTube?
I know that it's a little different when you're, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but when, like me, I have a personal, like, kind of deadline when I start a video every Tuesday, which I haven't really stuck to here lately, but I know when I'm on a deadline.
Yeah, you kind of dropped the ball, right?
Yeah. Well,
every 6th Tuesday or something like that.
Well, anyway,
between girlfriends.
Right.
Yeah.
But I know, like, for building for YouTube, it's a little different because as you're building, you also have to move your camera around. You also have to be aware of where the light's hitting the model, and you've got to be aware of when you're painting that you're not accidentally hitting your camera, or just little stuff like that. It's a little different modeling for YouTube than say if I wasn't recording it, I could probably build a lot quicker than if I was videoing. I feel like it takes me like at least another whole day to do a project when I have to keep moving my camera around, hot all the tripod and all that, than just going at it.
Yeah, it's actually a lot more work to videotape your modeling than it is just to go down on your own free time and
this is true.
work on your layout, because it's a lot of work to actually make a video to put up of what you're doing. It's kind of stressful, and you're worrying about what you're getting in the camera and what you're not, what you're saying, and you're retaking and retaking and retaking, and it's a lot of work goes into it.
And I don't know, I kind of it's kind of like a standard thing too for yourself. When I build it and then I video it, like there's been a few things I've built and I just had made the video for, and then once I went back, I was like, this is just not good enough. Like, it's not something I would be comfortable putting out on video that I built. And that's just another thing too, is when you're putting it out there, you're going to be critiqued a little harder. People are going to look at it a little harder and expect you to be an expert in it, or at least be knowledgeable in the topic or subject.
Well, I tell you what, fellas, I catch myself. Here's what I did. I finally went out and bought myself I think I spent $400 for a monitor to hook my camera to, so I could watch myself when I was building these kits. And I found myself being more concerned about the presentation of building the kit as opposed to what the kit looked like.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Because that's what you're doing. I'm the same way. It takes me 3 times as long to build a model on video than it does outside of a video.
I mean, you can start at 8 o'clock in the morning and by 4 o'clock in the afternoon build a kit. I mean, that's easy.
Mm-hmm.
But then you spend 4 days editing the video.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Mike, you're saying it takes you about 3 times as long. I think about 5 times as long from the time I do any project, like the DCC matching the other day. If I just went down there and did the engine completely on my own, no videotaping or anything, that's about a 15-minute project for me because I've done it so many times. But when I made that video, that ended up being about a 5-day project of a couple hours a night, getting through before it finally got posted. So doing these videos, I found actually, while they're very enjoyable and I really like doing, and I'm going to continue doing them, it actually takes a lot of the layout time and the number of hours on the layout because I spend editing video and going back and reshooting something because the camera angle wasn't right and stuff, as opposed to just spending that time on the layout.
Do you guys have any tips on equipment or anything that, what my focus is and has been over the last couple of months is trying to get individuals to actually build videos to show technique and show how to actually do some of the things that are done. Like And I've really, I've gotten several people actually getting YouTube videos up on the internet now, or up on YouTube. Do you guys have any tips or tricks or anything that you could share with these guys?
Good lighting.
Yeah,
Always
yeah,
good lighting.
Yeah,
what I was going to
That's
say. I
my
don't
thing.
care. Yeah, I don't care what kind of camera you use, whether it's HD. If you don't have the lighting, it's going to look bad.
Yep.
And a tripod.
Yeah,
Definitely.
tripod.
Yeah, tripod. Yeah, stationary
And
camera.
And also have a game plan when you're going into it. Don't just wing it. Kind of do your research into what you're doing, because if you're going to be presenting a how-to, you need to be able to explain it and kind of, answer any questions you might get, because you probably will get some questions afterwards through your comments, and, you might want to be able to answer them. And you can even answer them beforehand in the actual video. When you have a game plan, it seems to go smoother when you're actually recording and working on a project, because you're really having to multitask a lot when you're videoing and working on projects. And it's just when you have a game plan going into it about what you want the end product to look like, it kind of makes it a lot more easier, and the editing process a lot easier as well.
Right. Yeah, and I completely agree with what was already said on the good lighting, tripod definitely. A high-quality camera certainly helps as well, but it doesn't have to be anything super fancy. The other thing that I've actually started doing, based upon some feedback that I got from my subscribers and things, is except for my initial beginning of the videos when I'm talking directly into the camera, I actually do all my voiceover now after shooting it. I still go ahead and talk, while I'm doing the project, so I sort of capture what I'm thinking while I'm doing it, but then I strip off all of the audio from the actual video, and then just do a voiceover afterwards, and then you go back and edit it, and if you say something wrong or you want to change your words and everything, it makes it a lot easier, and it's a lot cleaner doing that when you're sitting right in front of a microphone watching your video, rather than when you're trying to build the kit and run the video and think about what you're saying all at the same time.
I do the same
that's
thing.
a little tip.
And that's the main reason I do that, is because I ramble a lot, and I found that my videos were 2 hours when they could be 3 minutes. So just voicing over really does help a lot.
Right.
Well,
And
I think you have to remember that when you're doing a video, it's about what you're doing. It's not about you.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest thing.
Nobody's really interested in looking at me. They want to see what I'm doing.
Oh, now, okay, now Eric is an exception. I have to say that.
I just watch people. It's like
Yeah,
going to the coffee shop without going to the coffee shop.
I mean, I do like to see who is behind the camera and who is working on it. I mean, I think it adds a personal level to the layout building, especially with YouTube. It's kind of like a personality thing. I mean, you could have an awesome layout, but I kind of want to see who. I don't know. I'm just maybe that's just my.
I agree with you, Ben. It adds a personal connection with the.
Right, and I'm more likely to go back if I feel connected and like, oh, this person's my friend, than just seeing an inanimate object that's a train. I mean.
No, I think right. I mean, everybody likes to see. I know I got a lot of comments and stuff on that. I stepped in front of the camera at one point, and people were shocked. Wow, you don't look anything like your voice. Well, I think it's great. You kind of got to appear once in a while. You have to do that. So.
I mean, not like all the time, but just every now and then. And going back to Colorado Joint Line's comment about doing voiceovers, I know I started out with Windows Movie Maker making my videos, and there's not really a really good option to do voiceovers on there. So I used to actually take my camera and shoot video and just do my voiceovers while holding the camera and just record my voice basically, and then insert the video into the music file where you could insert music. So I was doing it really, jerry-rigging it basically.
Really old school.
Yeah, but it worked. I mean,
Gold mic, right?
Huh?
Were you using your gold microphone?
Hey, don't make fun of my gold mic.
My daughter has one like that.
Don't make fun of me. No, an external mic. I mean, just to summarize on this is, ultimately, I mean, if you're doing build videos and trying to explain something, how to, or how, something for your railroad, I believe, and it's in my opinion, that the majority of how-tos are going to be better explained showing what you're trying to explain. and using a voiceover helps, and using I feel different cameras and things like that. Of course, I go overboard with my stuff, but voiceover has definitely changed the way that I did things. So, and just to push the two other things, which is lighting, you got to have plenty of lighting, and the next one is
Tripod.
Right.
Having that camera stationary and not moving it around all over. Because believe it or not, like you see, Gino showed tonight. He posted up on Facebook, watching YouTube videos on a big screen. So I get motion sickness watching some of those. If there's a lot of movement and stuff, I'll get motion sickness, and I can't watch those videos. So
I'm sorry if I get you motion sickness a few times, Mike.
No, I mean I can handle it sometimes. I just look away, you know. I just kind of have to.
Yeah. And can I answer one of these questions that someone just asked?
Actually, I haven't got to those yet. I want to. I'm
Does it
actually
kinda go-
sorting through them. Yeah, but we can't do that because what'll happen is we'll just start running amok here.
Okay, because it just kind of go with what we were talking about right now.
I do want to ask though, if Ben, can you verify that the link on the website to the form is working to the
Sure can.
giveaway form? I'm actually having to try and edit a web page while I'm doing this, and this is.
Yeah. So the last thing on just sort of how that we produce them and everything to go with what you guys were saying on motion sickness is if you're going to move your cameras around, do it sort of slowly and methodically and as steady as you possibly can, and don't make it look like you're just swinging the camera left to right, and back and forth all over your layout.
Right.
And if you're already investing in a good camera and a good tripod and taking the time to do all this and everything, you may want to invest in some software and stuff. I started out using Movie Maker, and I thought, well, and then at some point after doing however many videos, I decided I wanted some additional capability, and so now I use Corel Video Pro, but that's certainly not the only one out there, and it may not even be the best one.
Yeah, there's quite a few.
But go ahead and look out. There's a bunch of other good ones out there. You don't have to spend a fortune. All these video softwares are going to cost you less than a good quality HO engine is going to, and it'll make a massive difference in your video quality.
If you guys don't mind, we'll go to some questions. We've got one here from Barry Rosier. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Barry Rosier. Barry asks, anybody use iMovie for editing?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
I used to.
We knew the young guy would.
Yeah, I use it pretty religiously, so.
Yeah, I used to use iMovie all the time until I got Final Cut.
Yeah, I use Pinnacle Studio Pro, and I try to sell this to everybody so I can help them with it, but it's a little bit more expensive than the average stuff. So.
Yeah, I use Pinnacle Studio too. I actually prefer 14 over 17, even though 17 does faster editing and all that kind of stuff, and faster. I can't even think what you call it now. When you burn it out to set it up for YouTube, can't even think what it's called. 17's faster, but I prefer 14 just because it's a simpler interface.
I think.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think iMovie is really good for people who want to do basic to semi-basic stuff. It's very easy to use, very good quality, and simple to use. So if you've got a Mac, iMovie is really good. I used it until I bought Final Cut, which is a bit over the top, but yeah, iMovie is good. And
you can make really professional-looking videos out of iMovie. I mean, really, and that's what I use on my day job. I mean, I'm a photojournalist in my day job, and I use it for our news videos that we post on our online website. So.
Hey, Ben, this link working okay?
No, I sent you an IM about it, but it's not working.
Okay, I got another question here from Robert Olson. What kind of lighting setup is best to reduce shadows and glare?
Ooh.
LEDs.
Definitely LEDs.
Well, I think what they're referring to, I'm assuming.
Oh, hang on, sorry.
Is for recording of videos. So.
Diffused lighting.
Yeah, diffused lighting, multiple angles, multiple lights.
You use a 1, 2, 3 setup. One here, well, I don't know, like 1 at a 45 to the right, 1 to a 45 at the left, and then kind of like 1 overhead pointing down. That's what I use. And I also use cheap lamps from Walmart to do that. So. You don't have to spend a fortune to get lights that work, and just put a coffee filter over it, and boom.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I thought it was for a layout.
That's a
Sorry.
good idea.
Okay, explain
My
the
lighting
coffee
from
filter thing now.
Cowboy Studio, you can find diffused lighting and soft boxes and umbrellas through a few different places. But check out Cowboy Studio if you're looking for soft boxes and some diffused lighting. You can do it really cheap, like Ben's saying, from going to Home Depot, buying things, and using a sheet to diffuse the light. But that's
I just use a coffee filter or like wax paper that you'd find at like a grocery store, and wrap it over and put a rubber band around it, and and I also use that to do some portraits every now and then for my work. So
That may be how I need to keep myself from turning this to red.
hey, it gets hot, so make sure you use
Have a fire
Well,
extinguisher.
I need all the help I can get up here with this solar panel.
That's funny. Okay, I'm seeing this form working, so if you guys aren't seeing that form working, just let me know. We're about 45 minutes into this show, so I'm going to try and get to these questions, and if we can just kick through them as quick as we can. Let me explain something here real quick. If you're trying to enter in questions, you can click that little funky link down there to get you entered. If you make your way over to the giveaway form, the passcode to use for the giveaways is model building, all lowercase. I don't know, Ben, if you can put that up on a screen share. Model building, all one word, all lowercase.
I do not have the password for that anywhere.
I'm giving it to you. I'm telling you. It's model building. Just type it in something.
Model building, all lowercase?
MODELBUILDING.
All lowercase?
Yeah, and just so you guys know, the prizes from Midwest Model Railroad has changed last minute to two $25 gift certificates, and so anything on that form that's in reference to model buildings or your confirmation emails that say that that Midwest Model Railroad is providing structures and details, that's all just a sham. It's a sham. So what you're filling out for is Bragdon Enterprises weathering system and two $25. You'll get one, okay, one $25. So just pick your. There you go. That's perfect. Thank you, Ben. Just pick your scale, and also note that you can only enter this form one time. If you enter it more than once, it'll exclude you from the drawing. So enter it one time, pick your scale, and by doing that, you'll get entered for both drawings. And I'm trying to get to these questions. Okay, we got that one. Big House Railroad. I see your question here or comment. I think we have the form working. If I see it working from my end. If somebody can verify that for me, let me know, because I'm still seeing people telling me that it's not working.
Hold on. I'm going to go look right here.
It looks like it's working to me. Let's see.
Okay.
Yep, still not working on my end.
Do a refresh or something, Ben. And if you're not seeing this form, you might try a refresh, because it's working from where I'm at. Let me just check it.
I'm also using Safari, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it.
Yeah, I do this. I do everything through Chrome, so that may make a difference. If you have Chrome, I'd suggest that, because it's all been tested through Chrome. And
yeah, it's still not working on Safari, so I don't know.
Our panel members are not allowed for the gifts.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
I just want
to make that clear.
Okay. I've just got a whole bunch of. Okay. Here's a question from Mike Pfeiffer. Mike Pfeiffer asks, "What is your average video length?"
20 minutes. I try to hit my mark at 20 minutes. on most of the videos I do. So
Under 8 for me. Under 8 minutes. I find any longer and I start getting bored with myself.
As I mine, it depends on the video, but probably my average is about 20 minutes. I've got some is 5, but I've also got one that's about 90 minutes long, and it is one of them that has a lot of views. So
now oh, good. Good, Fishplate.
Oh, sorry, Ben.
No,
I think for how-to videos, probably when you're getting detailed and stuff, 10 to 15 minutes possibly. And then if you're doing like a run-op or something, op session or something, maybe 20 minutes, but yeah, probably between 15 and 20 for a quick one, about 5.
Yeah, I know what
I do 10 minutes, but for some reason it seems like it pushes always longer, so I'd say average is 18 minutes for me.
Yeah, I know for my last off session series of videos, it actually turned into a series because once I edited the video and put it together, it was at just over 2 hours long, and so I chopped it up into 6 20-minute videos.
Yeah, well, they were good, Kev.
Thanks.
Yeah, I try and keep mine about 18 minutes. Some of my op sessions run about a half hour, but basically I try and keep them at 18 to 20 minutes.
And I have a question here from William Graham. With the work that goes into your video, does it take all the fun out of the hobby?
Wait, who's that directed at?
William Graham. It's just to anybody.
Okay. No,
it's a lot of work. It's really a lot of work to put.
Sometimes yes, like sometimes I just walk in getting the plan to make a video, and I just get so frustrated that I can't just work on something and not have to record it. That sometimes it makes me just not want to go in the train room, and then sometimes I just go and work on stuff without actually recording to kind of get me back into it. But for the most part, no, I actually enjoy the sharing, the models and sharing, knowledge with people who, at one point were where I was at, learning from people on YouTube.
I agree with Ben. Yes and no. Actually, it gives me a lot of motivation and inspiration to keep working on my layout and doing more stuff on it. Knowing that people are interested in it, and I don't know. I kind of find it enjoyable to make a video. But
I think I'm exactly like Derek.
Again, a lot of work does go into doing it.
I think I'm exactly like Derek. It's a little bit of both, but I've found myself that I really enjoy doing it, and it's just sort of another fun part of the hobby and things. And I actually find myself when I'm not in my trains and I'm not videotaping or I'm doing a project that I'm not doing for video or something, it's almost gotten to the point that it feels sort of odd, like, oh, I think I should be videotaping this and sharing it with the community.
Yeah, I think sometimes it can get to feel like it's almost an obligation. When you go into the train room, and in my situation, I sometimes don't have a lot of time, given my work schedule and other commitments, to work on the layout. So I'll go in and I'll do a bunch of stuff, and they'll think, oh man, I should have been videoing this. So what I do sometimes is, well, here's what I just finished, and I try and explain how that was put together, but that may not be a good way to do it. But so I'm going to try and do a little bit better job at that. Think about when I go into the train room, what my plan is, and gee, I probably ought to video this from the start.
Well, I tell you what, I try to do a little bit of the same thing. It's just, anybody can glue 2 walls together, or you can put a roof on a building. I try to find that little thing in a kit that might be just a little bit quirky, or that's not real clear as to about how you do it, and be able to show that so that somebody else coming along can do that. So, well, it's, I've seen this done, piece of cake, makes it easy for them.
I think I would have set fire to mine if I wasn't videotaping it for people by now.
And I have another question up here, if you don't mind. I'm just trying to scoot through these. Ben, did you have something to add there? I'm sorry.
No, good.
I have a question here from Barry Rosier. And again, I hope I'm saying that right. Does anyone use a DSLR to shoot their video?
Yes.
I do too. I don't shoot the whole video with the DSLR. I only shoot certain parts. But yeah, I do use DSLR sometimes.
I use the whole video for mine. I shoot the whole video with mine.
Sony Handycam. Nothing fancy.
What's a DSLR?
It's like a real camera, but it doesn't use film anymore. It's like
one that uses one of these.
Yeah, so there's quite a few different cameras. Let me just quickly, Dave Vallejo, I see your question here. Yeah, this will be edited and put up later, so no worries if you have to take off. No big deal.
Can I just answer an airbrush question there, Mike?
You know, for you guys entering questions, if you could keep them to questions, that'd really help me. I'm really struggling. There's so many questions here that I'm having to sort. Let me see if I can find it. Hang in there. Yeah. Any more comments or anything to do with modeling for YouTube? If not, then we can go to best models to build, and then I'll come back to some of these questions that people may have on some of these others. But if you guys have recommendations on the best model structures to start building with for a new YouTube user, a new model builder, I sure like to put that out. So feel free to just take the floor on your thoughts on that.
I would start out with Cornerstone. I think everybody should start out with the Cornerstone. They're about the basics. And then you got the DPMs. I'm thinking N scale right now because I deal with little trains. But those would be my two choices. Then you have the Rick's Products / Pike stuff, which is more of a panel-orientated model setup, which I kind of like a lot too. They're more of modern warehouse-type looking buildings. But those would be my three basic ones. And if you look at my layout, that's what I normally build.
I would agree with that 100%. If you go with the Cornerstone or the Pike stuff, or I mean, those kits are designed in such a way that I mean, you can't hardly screw them up. It's not a little paint, a little sandpaper will just about solve any problem you come up with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Cornerstone's the best way to go for a beginner.
Yeah, for a beginner, right? I'd say that, yeah, I think for brands, those are great. The one thing I'd add on is say that don't feel that in order to make a great model kit, you have to buy a super large or complex one. Certainly if you're starting out or somewhat unfamiliar with kit model, something that is relatively simple, but you can turn that simple structure into a fantastic scenic element on your layout through weathering and adding additional details that are not necessarily part of the kit. Like if it's a building, add in downspouts and awnings and some roof details and things, and really elevate the model beyond what just comes in the kit. It doesn't have to be something, you know, an expensive $300 Craftsman limited edition kit or anything to look fantastic on your layout.
Well, I agree. I think you hit the nail on the spot. That's fantastic. It's not the kit itself; it's what you put around it.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's it. I mean, and you can see in my videos, that's what I really like. The kit is just it's the what is it it's the canvas, and what you do with that kit after it's built is what makes that model. I say that. I mean, many people build kits and just drop them out. And I can say, you know, there's a difference in style and model railroads. Eric's brought this point up to me that, you know, he's more into operations, and if he gets a kit glued together and on his layout, he's in good shape. So, where my interests lie a little bit different. So,
and I'm more into scenery, so.
Yeah, I know. To me, one of the things that impresses me the most about kits, in addition to, you know, super detailing and weathering and stuff, is when you don't recognize a manufacturer's kit. When somebody has put detail and so much customization into it that you don't look at it and go, "Oh yeah, well that's the Wathers engine house." You think it's a completely scratch-built structure that the guy did, and then they find out it's like, "Oh no, well that's just the kit." And you're like, "Really? Wow!" That to me, that's very impressive.
Yeah. And I have another question up here. Any plans on doing a segment on locomotive paint? Any of you guys have locomotive painting? I think Greg does on your channel, don't you?
I think it's maintenance.
It's more maintenance. You're right, it is. There's paint there's a paint question on there as well, but if you guys can see that question, if you.
There was a
I
paint
think,
question here.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's from John Dilly.
Yeah.
There's
I
a
don't-
question I have. Let me just go through it. The question I have up right now is from John Dilly, and what he asks is this: any plans on doing a segment on locomotive paint or maint? Suggested services and what type of lubes? How often? Thanks for doing this. Anybody? I know there's some people out there that do some locomotive maintenance. Who
Maintenance-wise,
Yeah.
take one of those little alcohol swabs that, if you go to the doctor that they kind of wipe, before they give you a shot, and take that and string it across your track, hold it down, and then put on your locomotive at full speed, and then run your wheels over across that, and now clean your wheels. Really easy, really cheap way to clean your wheels.
I think the main thing with maintenance and lube is to make sure that the lubes are plastic compatible. Otherwise, you're going to run into big problems. And don't over lubricate something. A lot of the Atlas Silver Series locomotives are over lubricated in the gearbox, and but plastic compatible oils is the main thing, and also just enough lube to make a good baby.
Yeah, I think there's more of over lubrication in the models that are coming out today than under lubrication. I don't think I've lubed a locomotive in 10 years probably.
I had one locomotive from Foxville, or actually the set of those GP60s, the end scales from Foxville models that came out, which were rather squeaky because they were under lubed, and that's the only time I've actually done any sort of real locomotive maintenance.
I've actually got an Ather right now that's not working, so I'm going to be doing a video on trying to fix that. So, and I think it's
there you go,
a lubrication problem. So, maybe in a week or two, we'll see how that turns out.
Hey guys, just real quick on the questions, if you could really focus on trying to get questions in as opposed to comments. I only have I have a single row of questions to bring up here, and it's really difficult to me to funnel through some of these, comments. I appreciate all the things that you have to say about the show, and of course, but try and keep it focused on the topics, and on questions would be nice. Thank you. I have a question here for Gino. How important is reference while building your scratch builds?
Say it again, Mike.
A question from Bud Ellis. How important is reference while building your scratch builds?
Oh, I think it's very important. The biggest thing for me is, like, if I'm building a prototype model, you need to do the research on it. Go out and try to find pictures. If the structure's still there, go out and take measurements of it. That's a key part in getting it the way that you want it.
Okay, and then I have a question here from DJ. I believe that's DJ's Trains.
Yeah.
If money wasn't an issue, what would be the first thing you would rush out to buy for your layout?
Can I answer that?
Yeah.
Somebody come build it for me.
Yeah. That's cheap.
About 40,000 square feet.
Yeah.
Bigger house.
Yeah, a house with a really big basement.
I find that amazing. If money wasn't an issue, I would probably have my own loco. I mean.
Really, if money is no object, then it ceases to become a hobby.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because you always want to be looking for that next thing you want. That makes it fun.
I mean, it's anything you can go out and buy, and you don't have to invest any effort or use your talents or anything like that to obtain. Then it's not a hobby. It's just something else you'll get bored with in a month, and you'll be buying something else.
I agree with you totally on that, Steve. I mean, that's like someone buying an old hot rod and then taking it somewhere and paying someone to do all the work for it. I mean, that's not a hobby.
Yeah. The fun part is doing it, and I find I have a lot of enjoyment in searching out things and planning to do things. So, hey, just real quick, hey, Vinny, there's a request here you can see. They just want to hear you say, anyhow.
Anyhow.
There we go.
Yeah, I know one of the things that I like to do is, try and find things that are not meant for model railroading and see if I can, integrate them into the layout. Just kind of a fun thing for me to do. Sometimes when you go out and buy either scenery or models that are, obviously designed for HO or N, they can be fairly expensive. So I kind of like to work with other materials that maybe aren't meant for model railroading.
And do we have anybody to add anything more on? I just want to get something out here real quick on this new building. And we touched on this in some of the test shows, but I didn't hear anything on it here. For new builders and people just getting into building, I can highly recommend that set from, what is it, Brian? You turned me on to this set. Can you go over this set?
It's the City and Industry Building Set.
Yeah.
From DPM. I guess it's Woodland Scenics actually markets it, but it has all the DPM buildings in it. And I believe there are either 16 or 18 different buildings. And what's nice about that kit is that across those 18 buildings, there are various levels of difficulty. So you can kind of start out with a small, easy to do kit and work your way into the more complex ones. And they go together relatively easily. And after watching Mike do them, I've discovered that I put them together incorrectly relatively easily. So actually be doing some videos on disassembling my incorrectly assembled DPM buildings and putting them back together. So, and what's nice about that is they come apart really easily too. So if you screw them up, you can take them apart and redo them. But
can I add something to that?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. I just didn't want to walk anybody. I was talking to some building engineers, probably about a week or so ago, and I had the DPM kits in mind. They tell me that in days gone by, and we're talking about the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s, that when people built these brick buildings, that the top-notch brick, the quality brick, was used on the front of the building, and the brick that the not so good brick was used on the back side of the building that you didn't see. So consequently, you'd had a brick that was two different colors, front and back. Good brick in the front, the not so good brick in the back, and that's the way you wind up with these different colors in the buildings.
Yeah, I think DJ at DJ's Trains actually did a video explaining that on one of his scratch builds, if I'm not mistaken. It was like one of his beginning videos, if you want to go look that up. But it's pretty good video about that in particular.
Well, it makes sense back in that era when they're, we're talking about money was an object, and they just put your best foot forward, I guess is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. And when we went through Philadelphia and everything, they're saying the same thing about their brownstone buildings. One of the things is you see the face of them, but the sides we normally don't see, so they didn't care about that.
Now let me go to another question here from Sean Hendricks to Vinny. Did you like building the engine house for Eric Ellers? I think it's Ellers, right?
Ellers, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun doing. I had a great time building it. It was something new because I added all that steel structure in it, and apparently Eric likes it, and he'll have it on his table tomorrow.
Good deal. And I have a question here from Penn Central 99. Is it just me or Google? Apparently, from what Penn Central, he doesn't like the interface to Google, and this kind of goes back to what we're pushing. You're right. It's different. It's not the same, but it takes a little bit of getting used to, and I hope everybody will give that a chance. So, got a question here from Robert Olson. How many other hobbies do you claim to have and are related to your YouTube videos and model railroading? I can quickly jump on this, and if we can kind of get through this pretty quick. I do photography, videography, and model railroad building. So all this ties in together with my YouTube channel.
I do everything you'd expect with a model railroader, rail fanning, photography, and videography, but photography actually happens to be my full-time career too. So
I do it all plus football.
Yeah. Anything that you do that's related to the videos, of course.
Hey, when you're dodging trains, that works too. Football, dodging trains, same thing.
And I have another question here from Mike Pfeiffer. What is the percentage of scratch builders and or building versus kits? I'm not quite sure what that means, Mike, but I do mostly kits on video. Scratch building gets a little bit too far for me. So, any comments from you guys?
No, I'm more of a scratch builder versus kit.
Well, I'm 100% kit, but I hope to be able to start doing scratch build like Gino does. He does some great stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm really impressed. Yeah.
And Midwest too. I'm sorry he's not with us tonight, but he does some great scratch builds.
Mm-hmm. And are you a train man too? What is the strangest product you have ever used on your layout? Not meant for model railroading. Coffee grounds.
Yeah. For sale.
Sugar. The tall tubes of sugar. They make wonderful grain tanks or whatever you want to call them.
Can I say, coming up when I actually do some ballasting, I'll be using real locomotive sand.
Oh,
so that'll
nice.
be interesting.
What are you going to do? You're going to strain it, I guess, huh?
Yeah, well, I work in a big switching yard over here occasionally, and there's sand all over the place. So there's different companies use different types of sand. So there's one that's quite good, but it will need to be strained. Yeah, it's a little bit too big, but there are smaller stuff. And so there'll be a small bit on the layer called sand patch. So that's what that will be.
Do I need to send you my mailing address?
And I have a question here, another question from DJ's Trains. What paints are you going to use now that Polyscale Railroad colors are being discontinued? I use anything. Anything.
I freak out. I'm just freaking out.
You guys don't have anything to add to that? Vallejo Paints puts out some pretty good stuff. There's a whole bunch of different, not as good as Polyscale, I'll tell you, but you just kind of have to work with it. But if you guys have some recommendations on paints, please share that because that's a big question here. I'm going to grab a refill on my coffee.
Yeah, can someone tell me? Because I've got no idea.
I think paints are overrated. I mean, think about it. We paint a piece of plastic, and then we come in behind it, and we do everything we can do to make it look dirty. So why do we want to spend all this money on these top dollar paints when we can go to Walmart or Hobby Lobby or whatever and spend 68 cents and get a tube, and we're in business?
That's what I do, and then put it through my airbrush. I thin it down with water, and boom, it works.
Yeah. There's, I just noticed a question there a while ago. What's the best airbrush? One that works.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. And it depends a little bit on whether you're talking about painting structures or doing general layout scenery or paint. Because for structures and things, I actually don't even use airbrushes on structures mostly. I use aerosol paints and stuff because you're painting generally large areas and things, and the detail of the airbrush is lost. And I can buy a lot of aerosol cans for just a few little specific model paints. If you're doing a specific engine and you're trying to match a color, then you're going to have to hope you can blend something together. The non-model uses the Model Masters by testers. I like them a lot. I think they airbrush really well, and they actually just hand brush very well, and you don't get a lot of brush strokes in them. But they're not going to have some of the specific, if you want C&O blue or Santa Fe red or Santa Fe yellow or whatever, you're going to have to figure out what do you mix together in order to get something that's close enough so that once it is weathered and everything, it looks just like all your other engines. And that's going to be a bit of a challenge now.
Okay, but the thing about it is, outside of you, who would recognize that?
Well, some people would. I mean, if I put an engine on my layout that has a completely different color yellow on it instead of Santa Fe yellow, say, or as an incorrect Rio Grande orange on it, one, it's going to look dramatically different than the engine sitting next to it. And I think there are enough people out there that would notice a difference if in the wrong shade. But maybe that's just me.
What about the Badger's Model Flex, Kevin? What do you think of that stuff? That's only relatively new, isn't it?
Yeah, I've used that a little bit, but not enough. The little bit I did on it, I thought it was okay, but I don't know if I've used it enough to have much of an opinion.
The Badger's paint I've used a couple times. It just happens to be the perfect blue for the Atlas N-scale models that I repatch. So I've used that a couple times, and it seems to work pretty well.
I've used the Badger a little bit too. It just seems a little bit thin for me. Usually when I do it, I have to put two coats on it rather than just one.
Yes.
We got a comment here from William Graham that Gino, you look like a rock star. Just so you know.
Hey, thank you. It's the hair. It's the hair.
Lovely hair.
I was thinking the mustache, but
Okay, I'm really trying to get through some of these questions, and I'm sorry, guys, if I'm not hitting your questions. I don't really like the way the system works, but you guys who are entering questions, if you look at the questions that have been entered, you have a way to +1 the questions that you want to have answered, and that it funnels them to the top for me. So if you're watching the show and you see a question entered that you want to see answered, hit the +1. And for the rest of the show, what I plan to do here for about the next 10 or 15 minutes is just get the ones that have the most pluses on them so that we're covering what you want to hear the answers to, okay?
Mike,
I'm sorry? I'm sorry?
There was one question out there about, we're on the subject of painting. What is the best beginner's airbrush to use?
Yeah, I actually had that up there, and you know what? I don't know that we're going to have the answer to that.
Yeah.
Because there's so many different ones out there.
Go to Harbor Freight. They have one for like $8. And you can learn with it, you know?
Yeah,
the one thing about airbrushes I'd say is any airbrush can be the best airbrush and any can be the worst. So don't think if you're new and starting out, just get any airbrush and start practicing with it.
Yeah. You know what? You don't want to spend a whole lot, but I personally use this Posh. I've gone through 3, and a dual action Posh fills everything that I need.
Well, I think when you get to using airbrushes, it's all about the person behind the airbrush. It's not necessarily the airbrush.
Yep.
Well, I disagree with that because I'm pretty mechanically inclined, and I have fought like crazy with some cheaper end airbrushes. So it wasn't until I got into this dual action Posh that I actually was able to do some of the work I wanted to do. You know, the cheaper ones, you find yourself fighting the brush more than actually getting your stuff done. So I have another question here from ATSF1317. Hi guys, a question about track laying. I can't control the temperature in my shed, so when the weather gets hot, the track expands. The track shrinks and keeps cracking and pulling apart at this. This is something I know that Greg, I saw a really good presentation Greg did on his channel on this. Maybe you can point him to that video, or if you guys have any other videos.
Thanks, Mike. The first thing with I suppose expansion is for curbs, definitely solder the rails on the curbs and use a flux. I have electrical apprentices at work that don't know what flux is. I can't believe they're not teaching apprentices what flux is. But anyway, solder your curves with flux before you lay the track, and then when you come out of the curve, leave expansion joints. And the expansion joints need to be a reasonable amount, about 1 millimeter or so per length on a straight. That's what I leave. And I've had track lift the actual spikes up out of the cork and pull the spikes out with expansion. So it's very important. Watch the video on Fishplay Films Trendsetters.
Yes, absolutely. He's got some really good videos on that.
I'll leave about a 1/16 of an inch. That sound about right for about every 3 or 4 feet.
Yep.
All right, and guys, just so you know, and I hope that answered your question there, ATSF1317. Just so you guys know, I realize that we're running over, and what we're doing now is we're collecting extra footage for editing. For you guys on the panel, I realize that we're running over, and if you have to leave, it's perfectly okay. Just let me know you're taking off, and what I'm going to do is for the next 15 minutes or so, just going to roll through these highly selected questions that we have here. So the rest of the show is pretty much going to just be answering questions. So, but again, you're not going to offend me if you're on the panel and you have to leave. I'll fully understand. So. All right, so I have another question here from Junior Leon, what kind of DC system do you recommend?
Do you have a small layout or a large layout? Because if you have a small one, like mine that's a 4x9 layout, get a Digitrax Zephyr system or an NCE system. Those are two very basic beginner DCC systems that are very affordable and very great for small beginner layouts. So
I use the Power Cab, the NCE Power Cab, and I think that's a great starter system.
Yep, NCE Power Cab.
NCE Power Cab here too, yeah.
I use the Zephyr myself, and as a matter of fact, I've got an install video that'll probably be going up first of the week about putting the panel and the plug-in for the remote.
Yeah, I have to say I've used the NCE Power Cab and the Zephyr, and they're both really good. But you have to ask yourself, sort of exactly what Ben said, is the size of your layout, and then also how are you going to operate it? Because if you're somebody who wants to be up, moving around, or if you have a two-sided layout with a scenic divider in the middle where you need to go back and forth from one side to the next, Zephyr is a relatively stationary system that you need to sit and operate from one location. There's something with a handheld you can move around a lot more,
right,
like the NCE Power Cab.
Yeah.
And with mine, like my Digitrax, I have the system set up in a drawer that I pull in and out, and then I have panels on each side that I walk around and plug a cheap little UT4, I think it is, controller. Right. So my whole setup's $250 maybe tops that I pay.
And I know from mine, I actually used that Digi for a long time. I didn't like the controllers, so all this really is, a lot of it's very much so personal preference. I went to NCE just because I really liked the feel of the handheld controller. It just felt good in my hand. The buttons were really nice. The Digi just seemed to be kind of clickety for me, but it's personal preference, I think. Until you get into a model that's as big as like a club layout, I don't think for what we do, the smaller scale models, it doesn't really matter what you go with. I don't think it's
I
something you like.
Well, here's one of the things about when you talk about the DCC systems, and because I'm an operator, to be honest, the two things I look at is how many people are actually using the system. A lot of people go, well, this is the latest and greatest or whatever. If people are not using it, I wouldn't even go about getting it. You don't want to be the one guy using XYZ and you need help and you can't get any help for it. I would stick with either the NCE or the Digitrax because there's lots of forums that cover those, and if you do need help, you can get them. They also have JMRI, which interfaces directly with the NCE and the Digitrax system, so you can program your locomotives and all that other stuff. So out of all the brands, MRC and all that, I would just stick with the two popular brands, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
No reason.
The other thing to look at is if you're going to have if you're going to have 100% DC engines, or if you're still going to run any of them, at least temporarily, that are DC. Because I believe the NCE Power Cab systems do not have that function in them where you can set the decoder address to 00 and run a DC engine on it. Not that you want to do that long term anyway, but sometimes when you're in that transition mode, it is nice to be able to run DC and DCC.
Yeah.
Right. So the Power, I don't think has that. Digitrax does, but again, that it's all personal preference.
Yeah, running your DCC or your DC locomotives with that on the DCC systems, where they use that 00 thing, it's really not good for your locomotive. It's actually kind of fooling them to make them run DCC. It's shifting your voltage is different in your track. I don't really recommend doing that. I
wouldn't recommend doing it long term either.
Oh, I ran one for 3 weeks and it didn't do anything to my engine, but that was just me risking it. I can run 10 DCC engines tops in my system, and then one extra non-DCC, and I pushed it. But
I think the thing you got to remember about not only your DCC system or whatever it is you want to run, but the hobby in general. If you've got the money and you want to sink the money in it, I mean, there's always something better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of what makes you happy, what makes your layout work.
All right, guys, let me go to the next question here. I got one from Chad Weaver. What is the best way to lay curves? I have a hard time getting my curves to come out right.
Make a template.
Yep.
I say,
I
have your line drawn out ahead of time, and then before you permanently fix your track. I mean, I get down eye level and different angles, and I make sure it looks like a nice, smooth transition curve, and there's no in and out to it. And, I mean, your eyes will really give you a good answer on that.
Yeah, and I know that Greg has. You have a segment on this as well, don't you, Greg?
Yes, mate. I've got a few segments on track lane, and yeah, templates are good to get your track in the same position. But as you probably know, I only have one eye, and you cannot beat doing it by your eye. Even a straight line. A lot of people use a straight edge for laying track. You can't get track straight with a straight edge. You have to do it with. You can get it close with a straight edge, but you have to do it with your eye. And also the big thing with curves, shoulder the curve.
I agree.
Yeah. Let me just say something real quick on this, and because I'm seeing questions a lot with track, and where all these guys do track laying information. I know for a fact, in watching a lot of Greg's videos, that he goes into a lot of detail on some of this stuff, and he actually does deal a lot with the weather, and has some really good informative videos on laying track. So if you have any questions on that stuff, or please give Greg's channel a look at.
No scenery questions. No scenery questions at all.
Yeah. Okay, and I have another question here from Tanner. Tanner or Sheeler? I hope I'm saying that right. For laser cut wood structure kits, what type of glue should be used? You know, I don't. And I don't know that we really have any like Craftsman kit builders here, but generally it's like a white glue.
Yeah, back when I did some wood scratch built things, I just used regular white glue, nothing fancier.
For the 1 or 2 kits that I've done, I've used regular white glue.
White wood here.
Yeah, and they. As strange as it may sound, I just used regular wood glue from Home Depot. I've done that. The issue with that is that you want to make sure that it dries clear is all.
Right.
And I have another question here from Signal Fan. What is your favorite item, i.e., structure, scenic piece, loco, freight passenger car, etc., on your model railroad?
My favorite is my Smith pipe and steel structure. That's my first and my best build.
I think it looks great too, Vinny. Really good build. Really good scratch build. A lot of time invested in that.
5
It's
weeks.
got a great name too.
And Mike Pfeiffer's in the audience here. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate your comments. Just real quick, Mike's elaborating on the glue and saying Elmer's white glue.
Yeah, for me, my favorite thing on my layout is actually the sort of the Palmer Lake scene I did, and specifically the lake. I really like how that turned out and stuff, and so I think I like that, and the amount of time and stuff I put into it ends up being my favorite piece more so than anything that I've purchased.
That scene came out perfect. I watched you build that from the beginning.
Thanks, Vinny.
And I have a question here and if I move too fast, guys, you just interrupt me and say, hey, I have something to say on this, because I certainly don't want to cut you panel guys out if you have something to say, okay? So I'm going to try. I just try to get to these questions on here. Bill Graham, let me just say something about Bill. Bill's really worked with us a lot on this show and been a great help to me and different things. Bill's got a question here. Where do you see the hobby going with all the social media out there? Does it help to promote the hobby? I'm going to say absolutely.
I agree.
I agree. Look what we're doing here. I mean, that's social media.
I mean, as a young person coming into it, a lot of the younger generation coming into the hobby are definitely on social media. They're looking towards other people on social media that, how to do stuff, like on Twitter, for instance. My main Twitter followers in the hobby are all, young. My YouTube analytics show that my average viewership is between the age of 12 and 40. I mean, it's big for the younger.
It's so important to get the younger folks into this, and that's kind of the drive behind a lot of this. So, yeah. Okay, and I have another question here from RPM50. Will paper products covering foam core board paint and weather at all, or will styrene just work better?
I actually tried a foam core board several layouts ago, maybe a year ago, as a scenic backdrop, and I actually used acrylic paints on it, and it didn't work at all because it caused the foam core board to warp quite a bit and ended up taking the paint really odd. So it may have just been the experience that I had with that, but I've sort of written that off and don't use it anymore. I've never tried a structure, though, so it might work different in a smaller application.
I've tried it on a couple of structures, and I've not had any success with it either. It works when you paint it. So.
That was my experience.
Yeah.
Okay, and here's another question from Mike Pfeiffer. What is your favorite layout building aspect?
Structures.
Scratch building.
Scenery.
Structures, absolutely for me.
I like it all.
Yeah.
Scenery and weathering cars. That's me.
Yep.
My favorite thing is whatever the project that I'm going to go to next is.
I agree. I mean, I really.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that because I have some projects. In fact, one right now that I'm dreading going to. I don't want to work on it. Don't even want to begin it, but I've got to do it.
Yeah. Some of it seems like work, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. It's like you have these necessary things you have to do before you get to the fun stuff. So I have another question here from Are You a Train Man Too? Who has also helped with this show. Thank you, Train Man. Have any of you started a project that you didn't want to finish?
Yes.
God,
Yes.
a bunch of them.
My God, yes.
Absolutely.
I built a.
My
I had to build a. Is it the Bachmann Spectrum series? One of their tall skyscrapers. That thing had 5,000 windows in it.
Oh, right, all the windows, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, like I say, it starts to be work.
I'm telling you what, I just thought about turning that thing over and just spray painting the whole inside of that black.
Yeah, I've got
Thank
four
God
engines
we don't
taken
have-
apart. I've got 4 engines taken apart down right now on my my workbench. That a couple of them have been sitting there for over a year. I get in the middle of a project and get so frustrated with it, I move on, and then just haven't gotten back around to finishing them.
I agree. I think locomotive projects are my big thing. Like, you just dread it sometimes.
Something I find with everybody is that everybody models different. Everybody enjoys different aspects of the modeling, model railroading, and where I might hate to do certain things, others enjoy it. Something you find in this hobby is that, man, everybody's just so different, and but it's all one hobby. And I have another question here from Big House Railroad. How did everyone get started with model railroading?
I got started because my grandfather years and years ago owned the coal mines here in southeast Tennessee, and of course, the town I lived in even had a law that trucks were not allowed unless the rails couldn't carry it out of there. And we just everything was railroad tracks everywhere you went, and that's how I got involved with trains.
My stepmother bought me or gave me her son's Hornby Dublo 3-rail train set, I suppose, when I was about 12, when she married my dad. So that's how I got started with the old horn. I should have kept it. It'd be worth an absolute mint today.
Yeah, my dad brought me a line of train for Christmas probably when I was 6 or 7, and I was hooked from then on.
Yeah, I grew up along the railroad tracks, and started with a little HO layout as a kid, and I was hooked into trains since I could barely walk.
Yeah, I'm like you, Derek. I was probably 5 or 6 when my dad, he was kind of into model railroading as well, HO, and just had a 4x8, started out with that, and I just enjoyed it then and to this day.
I have another comment here or question. YouTube is my model railroad club. Are you members of a local club?
I was.
I'm not a member of any club. You just like you say, YouTube is my spot.
Yes, I am. As a matter of fact, I'm on the board of directors of the Chattanooga Area Model Railroads Club. It's part of the Chattanooga Choo Choo, if you've ever been down here.
I was actually a member of the Union Pacific Model Railroad Club here in Brisbane when I was very young, because I didn't play sport, so my dad thought I could get in that club, and I was the only child member from that day, and I think ever, and the club's still going. And believe it or not, I actually built their structures for their buildings, so I actually have some structure building. That was a long time ago.
So you're holding back on us, huh? Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, guys, if you're watching the show, we're actually extended here. Just want to make sure that you plus on the comments that you want to see answered by the people that are on the panel. It helps shift the questions up to the most important ones. And again, to the panel members, I realize that we're extending here, but there are a lot of questions coming in, and we still have quite a few viewers that are watching. So, I'd like for you to stick around if you can. But if you're running past your bedtime, absolutely no problem. You can surely take off if you want. I don't expect to do this too much longer, so. But I do want to try and get the questions in here as so many are asking questions. So next one here is from DJ's Trains. Do you like operating prototypically or just running trains and rail fanning your layout?
Well, I don't have a lot of experience with prototypical operating, so right now I'm just running trains when I get a chance to run trains, actually.
I do both. Just depending on how I'm feeling, and if I just want to sit and watch them run, or if I want to actually, get in there and, invite a few friends over and operate.
I prefer just running the trains and watching them run through the scenery.
Yep. Just like them.
I've gotten, since I've been on, watching YouTube videos, I've found that my interest, I'm really into modeling, of course, but I know that once I create my model, I want to have something to do on it, and operations is the answer to that. So
I agree 100%.
Yeah, maybe I do have models and stuff that I've built and put on there, but I'm really studying operations now, and I got to give a big thank you to Eric at imrro.com, and just say he's been putting videos out and answering questions that I've been putting out. He's trying to cover some of the operational aspects of stuff.
That's the reason I built the switching layout, was for operations. I just get so bored watching a train run around a track in a circle for every how long you want it to do. So I just want something that keeps me busy. Maybe for just a half hour a day, and that's all it takes.
Yeah. Well, I made that mistake of building just a model. That was my first layout. It was mostly structures and a little bit of track. You run out of what do you do with it? Once you can't keep expanding, you want to do something with it. So the railroad is actually planned to be just part of my model, but it'll be mostly operational.
I think you've got to have operational.
It's just like when you used to build model ships and stuff like that. I mean, after a while, you get tired of doing that, and you float it out in the middle of the lake, and take your BB gun and sink it.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to do something with it after you build it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
For me, it's operations. I mean, I got my layouts totally operations. That's all it is.
Oh, I commend everybody that does operations in their layout. I hope I can, get the information and to be able to do that someday. I mean, it's just, for some reason, I just can't get it in my head yet.
And I'm learning too. There's a lot to learn. And for the newbies, I'm a newbie whenever it comes to operations. And man, I have so many questions. And here's another deal too. I push all this media and YouTube, and so many people say, "Oh, there's some really good books out there." Well, crap, I'm I'm not looking for a book. I'm looking for a YouTube video. You know,
I've bought 2 books now, and I've read through them, and it's still
yeah, they don't do anything for me.
The only way I began to understand operations was actually go to people's layouts and do operating sessions.
Yeah.
Until then, I was just like, what do I do?
Yeah, I learned by example, and I'm dependent on Vinny and Eric and Greg and you guys, you know, to show me how to do that. So I hope you guys can come up with some.
Hey,
good stuff.
I tell you something. If you really want to be impressed, go to somebody's house that does the dispatching for a layout.
Yeah.
We have a guy that's in Ringgold, Georgia, which is 20 miles south of here, Chattanooga, and he gets on his computer and he dispatches a layout in Rhode Island, and with the headset and the whole 9 yards. And these guys don't move a wheel until he gives them the go ahead to do it. He controls everything from his laptop. It is just.
See, that's way more. That's way more than I just want to be able to just shift cars from here to there and have something to do on my model. Let me go to a question from Bud Ellis here on backdrops. Do you prefer hand painted or photographs? What do you all recommend?
Depends on the quality.
I like the photographs, but I don't have a layout, so I'm really curious what you guys have to say.
I mean,
about
look
this.
behind Brian. I mean, look how amazing his look behind him. I mean, I do hand painted, and I guess Brian does too.
Yeah, Brian looks good too. Look at Brian.
I like hand painted, so that's you know, I'm a little, and I, you know, this technique here behind me. There's actually a YouTube channel. It's CNLVN, I believe. Is the name.
Yes.
Yeah, Chris.
Yeah.
And
Chris Lyon.
He's got a series of about 4 or 5 videos where he has a guy painting the backdrop, and I watched that, and that's how I did mine. I mean, it's really simple. You know, trust me, I am not an artist. I have no talent whatsoever with painting.
Yeah, my backdrop's pretty easy. It's a 5-gallon bucket of Glidden, what is it called, California Sky Blue paint, and then some cans of spray paint.
Yeah.
That's all I did.
And see, that's the difference too in an operational and like a model, you know. So
I
priority.
think the photos can be fantastic if you're not artistically minded like me. But you know, half of each, I think.
One thing you might want to make note of here is especially if you're a subscriber to Model Railroad Magazine, from time to time they send you these DVDs.
Yep.
You do not have to pay for those, and you do not have to send them back. And there is a lot of information on those things, so it's just, you know, just consider it a gift.
Yeah. I have a question here from Joe G. And Joe, I want to welcome you to the YouTube community. He's putting up videos and sharing his stuff with us now. I just like, hey man,
Welcome,
you know,
Joe.
yeah, we appreciate getting it out there. Are you ever, Joe asks, are you ever hesitant in telling people that you are into model railroading?
Negative. No.
No.
Never. I used to be until about a year ago, and then you know what? I don't care what people think.
And I found out being young and trying to date, you kind of, I bring them to the apartment to, you know, hang out or whatever, and they're going to see the layout room and be like, what the crap is in this room, you know? So it's easy to
date. Ouch. I'm trying to date too, my wife.
Hey, I'll tell you, I put some video up on my channel this past Memorial Day for some rail fanning. I don't know if you watched it or not, but anyway, there's a couple of guys I hang out with, and they found out I was into the model trains and all that, and they got to making fun of me. And I said, well, I tell you what, come with me Monday. So we went over Monday, and we sat next to the railroad tracks, and I set up a camera, and we sit there and watched about 3 Norfolk Southerns come barreling by about 30 feet from us, and they had chill bumps. And that solved that problem.
Yeah, usually I just explain it to people, you know, it's like fishing. You're sitting there waiting for the big fish to come. You get the small ones every now and then, but you're waiting for that one big catch, you know. And then I just don't worry if people are embarrassed. I mean, people make fun of me about it or, you know, want to say something bad. I just ignore them, or I, you know, crack back at them about something they do. Not meanly, you know. I've never been actually bullied about it. But then again, if they have meant it meanly, I don't ever take it that way just because I'm I'm not a person that gets offended too easily.
Well, I work with railroaders every day, obviously, and we're down here. There's not many model railroaders, and virtually none at work. And if they have a go at me, I say, "Well, what have you built lately?" You know, we have to be carpenters, painters, electricians, so many skills.
That is so
and a lot of people that make fun of you are flat out using a stapler. So I just stick it up them. That's what I say.
Hey, I know how to patch up drywall seams now, thanks to model rating. So that'll come in handy one day.
You know, there is a problem with this, though, and if I can just add this, the problem is a lot of younger, and I'm talking a younger generation, and there's 2 or 3 people very specifically right now that I know of that just literally do not tell anybody they're into model railroading because they are bullied at school.
My age and below, there's a ton of people who didn't like. There was a kid all through high school who I was literally in the same trumpet section with him, and never knew he was a rail fan until basically a few months when we were about to graduate, and he just came up to me and was like, "Hey, I really am into trains too. I just won't ever tell anyone because I'm embarrassed of it." And I was like, you know what? So I mean, it just, you know,
it's horrible. It shouldn't be this way.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for our hobby, that's what we're running into. But if I could say anything to you guys that are watching that are younger, that are afraid to mention what, you know, that you're into model railroading, don't be. You know, you'll find that there's a lot of other people that enjoy this hobby and I'll share with you. So.
And most people not in hobby really don't care once they realize you don't care what they think about you being in hobby. I mean,
yeah, we just have to leave it to Greg to make this hobby cool. Which we do, right? Hey, Ben, can I get you to put up the drawing information again? I just want to quickly go through with the people that are still watching. There's a form on the website where you can enter for a drawing for 2 $25 gift certificates from Midwest Model Railroad, and also a weathering kit from Bragdon Enterprises. So if you guys could get your entries in for this form will be disabled after the show, so you can only enter this during the show. And the password or the passcode is model building, all lowercase, one word. Okay. Oh, we have another 4 here. I don't believe I know this gentleman. American Logger asks, "What is the most money you have ever spent on one single item for your layout?" Hey, good question.
Ooh. Should I tell you about my recent experience?
It's engines for me. That's really, I don't spend it. That's just buying engines.
Locomotives has to be the answer.
Yeah.
locomotive tracks, DCC system.
Yeah, DCC system.
Oh, you know, that's probably right.
I just spent more on one locomotive than I did my DCC system.
Yep.
Yeah, I did too.
I'm curious what you bought now, Brian.
What did I buy?
Not Brian. Oh goodness.
Steve.
Yes.
It was the Heritage unit from Intermountain, $300. DCC, sound, smoke. The second, I think it's the second run on them.
I think we're gonna have to see it smoking one day in a video. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's while I'm burning it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because N-Scale does not do that.
Well, even
Yeah,
that-
I just.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. On that question of most money you spent, I'm more not necessarily most money, but it's the items you spent the most, which you kind of like. Did I really spend too much? I bought a Chernobyl car for $150. And that's the most I've ever spent on a car. Granted, I've on my NCE system and engine and stuff. You spend that kind of money, but it was just kind of one of those things. $150 on a single car. That's kind of when I go, I think I've hit the railroader mark by buying that item.
What kind of car did you mention that?
It's a Chernobyl. I can't say it right. It's a Chernobyl car. It's where it's got the. It must have 20 axles on either end, and then it's got the transformer board in the middle.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I did a video on that. It's pretty neat car. It's actually it's a Japanese car because they don't actually make a good one in N-scale. So, but it works.
You guys, if you're trying to enter the form, I see stuff coming in that you can't reach the form. Just refresh. Try Google Chrome if you have to. But if you're not getting the form, it's just going to have to be your loss. And I can't direct you there aside from giving you a link. So if you wouldn't mind, Ben, can you put the link up to the website again so we can direct them there?
Sure can. Give me 1 minute here.
And I have another question here from... Now, I had one from Mike Pfeiffer. Is your layout ever done? And Mike, you know as well as everybody on here that no.
How many times have you redone your layout there, Mike?
Mike Pfeiffer asking this question. Hey, I appreciate you, but yeah, I don't believe that's ever done. I have one question here from NKP Burke 284. How do you cut a HO locomotive shell without damaging the shell in the process? I'm going to model the NS3528 SD40-2 with flared radiators. Thanks, guys.
Can I put a plug in for someone else's channel?
You bet.
Yeah. BA Rail Systems, a young fella, Ben in Canada, builds Canadian Pacific locomotives from ready to run stuff, and he's brilliant at doing that. So I would check out BA Rail Systems. That's from my personal thing, anyway.
I agree. I've been there, and good channel. Okay, and we're going to have to start wrapping this up here, guys. I just want to make sure and let you know. We've still got a full boat of viewers for you panel members. Just so you know, it seems like people are really hanging in here and want to hear what you have to say. So I'm going to keep scooting through these questions for about the next 10 minutes, and then we're going to shut this down, okay? So if you have any questions from the audience, if you've got any questions to put in there, please enter your questions. And please plus the ones that you want to see answered. They shift them to the top, and I'll make sure that I can get these questions to our panel members. Also, just big thanks to Midwest Model Railroad, who provided the gifts that we're giving away tonight. 2 $25 gift certificates, and also Joel from Bragdon Enterprises, who provided some weathering powders for you guys. It's the kit F65, and he shipped those out really quick and was really responsive in making sure he can get that out to you guys. So here we go with another question here. I have a question from Paul Kaufman. I went to the login contest and it does not work. So I just gotta say, guys, it's Chrome form, and I hate to see you guys struggle with this, but with the multitude of people that enter in duplicates and try to quote unquote, I hate to say cheat, but when you're giving away prizes in a public forum like this, you have to take precautions to make sure that they're given away fairly. So if you're unable to reach that form, I say refresh, maybe close your browser, reopen it, and do what you can to try to get there. Eric, can you see it? IMRRO.com, you can see this form, right?
I haven't looked for it yet, but
okay.
I'm kind of running through stuff. I don't know exactly where to look for that form yet.
This is a weird question, but I think it might be something to put up here. Are you a train man too? He's got, I guess, people wanting an answer to this. I've noticed a lot of competition and arguments lately, and some angered YouTubers. What are your thoughts? I got to admit, I don't know what that's about. Everybody gets along, as far as I can tell. I don't know of any arguments or competition.
I know what you mean by that, but I think it just kind of goes to it's the internet, and people hide behind their screen. The internet is a platform for people who would not say anything to your face, to be mean, to be jerks, to be jealous of what you were doing or what you were posting. And I would say if they're people that are commenting on bad videos mean, just ignore them. I mean, block them from your video. That's what I do. I block people who are hateful to me. I don't have time for that, and I for sure don't want my people who are nice having to deal with that either. And then the competition thing, I don't really consider.
I don't know how you can
competition
compete on YouTube. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Everybody
I guess.
shares the same subscribers. There's no competing.
I mean, like, the only competition I have is with DJ Strains because we're competing at the 3,000 mark. You can get more subscribers. But it's a friendly competition. It's not like, you know, I hate him or don't like him or anything. It's just we're competing, you know, friendly competition-wise. But I do understand what you're saying about some people competing because there are a few people that I think are competing and are hateful about it, but I'm not going to elaborate into that.
I don't know. I mean, I know we could probably talk all night about this, and I know there's been discussions on the forums and stuff about this, but ultimately, we all share YouTube. YouTube's one face to the community, and we're just all YouTubers. And to say that there's any competition or anything, it may be with the number of subscribers, but ultimately, you can have 25,000 subscribers, and what I found in the model railroading community, that any given time, you've only got about maybe a couple of hundred really quote-unquote active people that are viewing videos. So if you have 20,000 subscribers or 2,000 subscribers, it doesn't really matter because the same 200 people are still seeing the same videos, you know. So
Totally agreed.
Well, I tell you what, if I'm going to compete with you, I am not going to show you how I did it. I will show you the end product.
yeah, I don't try much. I try to get everything out there.
Well, even with the only person I really compete with, if you want to talk about, is with Greg, because I just want to have better looking plywood than him, so I paint my plywood, and then I might paint some black on it for roads. But that's the only person I really compete with because I don't want to have just plain plywood. I just want to have painted plywood.
Damn! I gotta get some paint.
DJ just texted me and said that I'm going down, so I'm just going to call him out publicly, DJ. Challenge accepted. Who's going to get the 5,000 first right now? Don't text me that.
Okay, guys, I see some of you are still. What I'm going to do here, I'm just going to have to play this by ear. Some of you are still having problems with this forum. Just so you know, I'll leave it up for a little bit after the show. I'll work with it. If you can email me and let me know at modelermanmike01@gmail.com that you're having issues with the forum, I'll contact you and make sure that we get your information in. So, but just to make sure that that's covered. So don't worry about that. If you're entering in stuff in the questions about how this form's not working for you, just send me that email, and I'll make sure that you get entered in, okay? And, Greg, this question's for you. It's from Andy Gills. What part of Oz is Fish Plate in?
Oh, okay. I did hold up a little sign before, but they might not have seen it. I'm in Brisbane, Queensland. So Brisbane's the city, Queensland's the state, and Queensland's pretty big. And you might just a quick thing. Australia is roughly the same size as the US. You might not realise that, and we've only got 6 states, and so it's almost about the same size as the US. A couple of states here are bigger than Texas, and Queensland's I think bigger than Texas. I think so. Yeah, that's it. Queensland, Australia.
Texas.
Sorry, see, I missed that. What was that?
Can't hear you, Eric.
Yeah, I think, Eric, you might be muted there.
Sorry.
No, you're
Button hit the wrong way. No, I already wasted my statement.
Yeah. Unless you're a lip reader, folks, you're not ever going to know what Eric just said.
Something dumb is normal.
Yeah.
I want to hear it.
Okay, I have a question here from Andy Gills. What is your preferred way to paint rocks?
I'll jump in on this one.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I tried the leopard spotting technique, and I didn't really like the way it turned out. So I stumbled upon a video called Painting Rocks with Dave Frary, and I actually did a demonstration of that on one of my videos. and you can feel free to check it out. But it's more of like a dry brushing technique, and I really like the way it turned out, and that's how I'm going to do the rest of mine. And it's almost foolproof. I mean, if you don't like the way it looks, just paint over it and start again. And I really like it. So all I can say is check out my channel, and I don't even, off the top of my head, I don't know the name of the video, but it's back there a little ways.
I use real rocks.
Yeah, just drive around the neighborhood. Brian just picks them up wherever he's at. He goes to his neighbor's house. As he's standing there ringing the doorbell, he'll see one stick it in his pocket. Yeah.
Brian's layout weighs 25 ton.
Yeah, that's why I built my layout out of 2x10s, so I can put a little rock on it.
All right, guys. Well, we're gonna have to wrap this up here. I've got quite a few more questions here, and I apologize if we didn't get to them. I can see though that this show would probably have to run longer than an hour. There's so much more conversation that we could get into here, and I hope that you guys viewing enjoyed it, and look for the edited version of this to come out. But while I'm kind of shuffling some stuff here, you guys on the panel are welcome to put in some closing comments if you like. For about the next minute or so, and then I'll close the show, okay? So if you have anything to add, feel free to just speak up and jump in right now.
To add on to the questions, if there's any questions that we didn't get to tonight, feel free to ask any of us on the board. Contact us through YouTube, through the Google Plus page. Feel free to ask us on the YouTube Model Railroaders group, on Twitter, at YouTube Model RR. Is the handle on there. We will answer anything on there, and also the Google Plus page, which I'm not entirely sure what the link to that is, but you can probably find it through Modeler Man Mike's page. And everyone else, it's their time to talk now because I have talked way too much this evening.
No, you've done great, Ben. Actually, you've talked a lot less here tonight than you have on your videos.
Ouch. Ouch.
Yeah, Mike, I think you could edit like an hour of Ben talking, for the show.
Yeah, well, I have to edit. That's why we had to go so long, so I could edit Ben. Just kidding, Ben. We love you, Ben.
Hey, it's 2 a.m. here, so I'm on that tired talk where it's just, it just comes out.
Well, I can't say enough.
I've had tired eyes.
I can't say enough just how much I appreciate you guys coming in here and I staying late. You actually stayed late too. So, unless anybody else has anything to add,
I think Vinny does.
Vinny does.
All right, Vinny.
Yeah, I would just like to give you guys an update on my buddy's condition. He had his biopsy today, and thank God it came back benign. So,
nice.
Good day. Good day. And I want to thank all of you guys for all your prayers. I really appreciate it.
It worked, didn't it?
That's great news, Vinny. I'm glad you gave us an update.
Yep.
Yeah, I was definitely looking forward to that update.
All right, guys. Let me just run through real quick again on the giveaways. We want to try and give this stuff away, and really want to thank Joel over at Bragdon Enterprises who provided the FF65. Yeah, if you could put that, that'd be great. Let me. There we go. The Bragdon Enterprise FF65 weathering kit. I'll have one of these for each of the 3 shows that are coming up. Joe's a super nice guy. If you get on his website here, you can certainly get into and see some of his products. But you can see this weathering kit in most all of my videos. I love this stuff. It's made from the real stuff. It's real rust. It's real everything. It's not chalks. It's not pastels. It's the real stuff. And next to Midwest Model Railroad, who's providing us with 2 $25 gift certificates, and these will be provided to you guys as well. And I definitely want to thank all you panel members for joining in tonight. And without your guys' involvement, absolutely, there's no way that this would have gone. So I really do appreciate you coming in and being part of this. And if you're on future shows as well, thanks for that. And Gino, thank you for stepping up on such a late notice and coming in and joining us tonight. I look forward to your videos as well.
Thanks, Fino.
Thank you.
You know.
Do what?
Also, the viewers, we have quite a few viewers. I really appreciate you guys making the show tonight. Make sure if you can, please take a note of who all's on here and subscribe to their channels. Show your support. Comment in their discussion. Click the discussion on their YouTube channel. Let them know that you saw them on the show and how appreciative you are of them participating, because it really is a great effort for us to be able to pull all these people together like this. It really took a lot of work, and these guys really were helpful in making themselves available. And Ben, if you could post up the splash pages for the next show. Overall, I'm planning on hosting 3 of these shows myself, and I hope to be able to turn this over to the next individual who might want to do this. If you have a YouTube channel and you're active in the community and would like to be the host of this show, let me know, because the intention is to turn this over and let somebody else take the reins, and hopefully I'll have somebody else be able to take this over after these 3 shows. So my intention is to do 3 shows, and then I'll give somebody else the opportunity to put all this stuff together. The next show will be July 2nd, 11 p.m., as you can see here, and all the information on these shows you can find on this website here, Model Man Mike's website. And to just close out, just want to say a big push from all of us here on the panel. We're really trying to get people into these social media sites. YouTube Model Railroaders on Google+.
I got it up again.
YouTube Model Railroaders on Facebook, and YouTube Model Railroaders on Twitter. If you're not available, or if you're not a member of these groups, please find your way over there. And don't just be on Facebook or just be on Google. If you have Facebook and Google, be on both and post as much as you can. So we'd really like to see you there. And for direct connection to most of these YouTube modelers, this is the best place to be. And I hope we get Vinny in there. We can't. What do we got to do to get Vinny in there?
Come on, Vinny.
Yeah, Vinny.
That's
all I have, guys.
You can join at least one of them, can't you? Come on, try the Google Plus or something.
Yeah, it's just one or the other. All right, guys, I don't have anything else to add. I've got everything out there that I need to say, so unless you guys on the panel have anything, we're going to shut this down.
Mike, we appreciate all the work you put into this.
Yes, definitely.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, it's a handful, right?
Yeah.
Hey, it was an honor. I just want to say it was an honor.
Yep.
Very much so.
Oh, I had a lot of fun. And the next one will be better. We'll have it planned out a little bit more, but expect it to be a little bit longer. It's hard to get all this into an hour. I can see that. So thank you very much, guys. Thanks for the viewers. And Vinny, anyhow.
In it.
Later, guys.
Later. Take care.
I'm just glad Vinny had his shirt on tonight.
Yeah, he did.
Hey, on him, the nude modeler.
Hey, Vinny, is